Lakeside. This episode is about design. I've always had an interest in architecture, and I've been sketching houses and cottages for years. Now that we have land, I finally have a chance to put my ideas into practice. My first thought was to design the place like a summer camp, with several sleeping cabins and a central mess hall. This idea had to be abandoned after my first conversation with the local building inspector. It turns out that in our county, the minimum square footage for a building on our lot is 528 square feet. The next thing I needed to consider was that this building would be entirely built by my family. I have renovated kitchens and bathrooms, but never built something from the ground up. This building needs to be simple without being boring. Another factor is transportation. Everything from the roof to the footings will need to be hauled across the lake and 200 feet up a 30-degree hill. This will be no small task, and I estimate it will be about half the job. So this eliminated any building method that requires very large materials like post and beam, and hopefully we can minimize the amount of concrete. 528 square feet may seem small, but I wanted to keep the footprint light, and I'm a big fan of the tiny house idea. So I started playing with the 528 square foot model and went through quite a few designs. At first I thought I wanted a more traditional cabin, but after completing a few drawings it struck me that I really should focus on something more modern. I played around with shed-style roofs and settled on having two opposing roof planes to add a dynamic element. This evolved into a building that appears to be two separate but connected buildings. I think I was trying to get back to my original vision of a camp with several buildings, while still complying with the building code. The interior will be designed to be super efficient like a sailboat or an RV. There are lots of great ideas about living small coming from the tiny house community. Because the site we have chosen is on bare granite, I decided to build on piers that are bolted into the rock. This minimizes the need for concrete and causes little disturbance to the site. Here you can see the final design that I submitted for the building permit. I altered the center section of the roof and added a glass garage-style door. In this rendering you can see how the building will relate to the site. Eventually I will add decks and a screened porch and perhaps some stonework around the piers. Finally, I hope to gather the water we need from the roof. This design will allow me to collect the water into a 500-gallon tank at the back and distribute it to the kitchen and bathroom. As you can see, the two sides of the cottage are angled towards each other. This allows for excellent views to the lake at the front and the beaver pond at the back. The first stage of construction was to build the two floor platforms and to construct the shelves. Try to get the roof on so we're weather tight. Then we'll work on the exterior cladding and interior finishes. I expect this project will take 2 years to get to a usable state and 2 more to finish it. This is our building site. As you can see, the cottage will have a very stable foundation, and there's lots of loose rock for a fireplace. We will not be removing any trees. The building will sit between the two that are in the area, and some others will get pruned. I can't wait to sit on the porch and look out at this view. I'm excited to show you what we have done so far and to get into the details of our methods and solutions. Stick around and see the progress at Ontario Lakeside.